Good evening, Miami. Give it up for DJ Brimstone right up there. I am so pleased to be here with you again tonight. This is the 9th annual Piano Slam right here at the beautiful Adrienne Arsht Center for the Performing Arts. Applaud for yourselves and the magic that's going to be taking place on stage. Let me, first of all, thank Carlene Sawyer with Piano Slam for the magic that she enables in our community every single year. Secondly, I want to thank this amazing foundation. Dranoff 2 Piano Foundation is the funder, the supporter, the enabler, the dreamer that makes today's show a possibility. Thank you so much for enabling tonight's performance. Part of this great audience tonight, we have the blessing of having some of the best leaders in Miami. I know that the chair of the school board of Miami-Dade, Dr. Larry Feldman, and school board members are in attendance. And I know that for the first time, we're so pleased that the mayor of Miami-Dade County, Carlos Jimenez, has joined us to witness the magic unfolding right before your very own eyes. You are in for a treat. Look, after 9 years of Piano Slam, 65,000 students have participated in creativity, communication, poetry, and music. This is what dreams are made of. Middle school students and senior high school students competing for their place on stage. This year alone, thousands of young men and women competed for the opportunity to recite their poetry, to walk the walk, to perform before you. Out of those thousands of students, 17 of them have been selected. They spent then weeks in the production with one of our graduates, Artistic Director Theo Castellanos, inspiring them. And by the way, he is a graduate of Carroll City Senior High School. So there is real talent in our community. Tonight, you're going to see that talent. So I want to thank you, the parents, you, the supporters, you, the teachers, for you enable a vision that is so tangible and so real in our community. For as long as I'm here as your superintendent, arts and music will forever be indispensable to the fabric of the education in Miami-Dade. Are you ready for a terrific show? Are you ready for some great poetry? Are you ready for some great music? Are you ready for some great talent right here at the Adrienne Arsht Center for the Performing Arts? Let the show begin. God bless you. Let's have fun.
Of only vanity and no love for humanity shall fade away, fade away.
More than 100,000 years ago. 100,000 years ago. More than 100,000 years ago. The first modern humans left Africa. And began to colonize the world. Since then, human history is also a history of migration.
My great-great-grandfather was the Irish didn't board a ship plowing waves to Philadelphia. Potatoes came up shrunken and black. He bribed the ship's captain to take an empty ex-slave ship to Trinidad. Looking over the sea, the Atlantic like a salty, boiling broth. Watching the dip and rise of the bow, he hears the snap of the billowing sails, the mournful creak of timber corked with pitch and prayer. He thinks about a bar he'll start, sees the dead who drank at his alehouse in the faces of the few mournful passengers. The watch bell rings out time. Already the ingrained stench of the deck makes him plug his nose with mint. No more the hills of Donegal, his back turned on the green, green shore. The sunken eyes of parents with dead children in their arms behind him now. He heads to Arima, the east of the island, to marry my great-great-grandmother. What a feat of liberation. What risky genes flow through my blood. How easily he slips into this new life, leaving death behind with just a different thought. How his hair ruffles in the breeze. How the creaking of the hull sounds like new. Sounds like home.
Once you step onto that land, your life has changed. From war and persecution to a minuet and normal life. The U.S., one of the most well-known places as a cause of its accelerando in immigrants, On the contrary from Turkey, the clang, sharpen melody of immigrants. The United States, every immigrant's dream, and Turkey, every immigrant's hell. So the world unites as a team to put a cadence to this spell. Every immigrant goes through the toughest journey, from the Adagio waters to the Forte storms, but yet they pull through. Einstein, Schwarzenegger, Wyclef Jean, all famous immigrants who went through the pain and agony to get to our harmonizing lands, our home, where freedom is Rococo.
One mind, one body, one sound. I want everyone to remember that for me. One mind, one body, one sound. Now say it with me. One mind, one body, one sound. Now I'm from here, so I don't know what it feels like to move away from your own home. I don't know how it feels to be forced to leave a place that is such a big part of you. But I do know one thing that makes you feel like you never left. Music. Think about it. It only starts with just one simple sound. From the beat of a drum to the sway of the hips, from the beautiful symphonies made by Mozart to the sultry sounds of blues and jazz, right down to even the movements of partners dancing bachata and getting lost in the wind when doing the salsa and tango and flamenco dancing. Hey, hey. Oh, my bad, sorry, got carried away there. Oh, don't think I forgot about hip hop and R&B now, because you know, that's my jam, am I right? Okay, yeah. And rap. There's so much feeling in music. It makes us one. One mind, one body, one sound. The feeling of nostalgia, knowing where you came from, just makes me wanna, yeah. Y'all felt that? I know y'all felt that, right? No matter where you are or where you go, oh, you know that you'll always have a home. 'Cause music is in the soul. And when we all join together, we become one mind, one body, one sound.
No, I mean us. Break down like fractions, a chorus of voices rising into a crescendo as others sing the low, low of locker room banter, like the cracks of a turtle shell, separated by the hues of blue and red, clashing, yet holding the backbone of this country together. We have survived worse. The soft lull of the flute does not soothe the haunting echoes of cellos asking for their freedom. We need an inferno to burn down insidious weeds sprouting from the seeds of prejudice, the wrath of a hurricane barreling through the land. And perhaps the shades can blend to a purple. The yells for equality can trickle down to a decrescendo, and we can end this march in purgatory.
There are 360,000 babies born every day across the world. 360 are deaf. Deafness is like all those little hair cells in the ear canal are dead and can't move. Deafness is when the whole world is muted. You can see all the beautiful parts of the world. You can taste the delicious food. You can smell it too. You can touch things. The only thing you can't do is hear. You can't hear the birds chirping. You can't hear the street bands playing music. You can't hear the alarm clock waking you up in the morning. In 1998, 360,000 babies were born. 360 were born deaf. I am one of the 360. An infant with a cochlear implant, a microphone on her ear, electrodes in her head. The auditory nerve comes alive. Now I can hear an entire section of music and ringing in my ears. Now I can hear the street bands playing brassy and brave music. Now I can hear the alarm clock waking me up in the morning for school. I can hear an orchestra, a concerto, a movement, an opus. I can hear the telephone, a boy band, and your voice singing to my heart. I can hear anything.
What do they see when they look at me? Is it the color of my skin? Or the vibrato of my voice? Or the staccato of my notes? Because as I glissando over to this new land, I feel like I don't belong. This is not my home. I feel like a whole note in a 2/4 time signature. I don't belong. Society says that our origins, our past, and our customs dictate who we are, dictate who we can be or what we can do or where we can go, dictate whether we will be accepted or shot down. But this is not true, because the world, it's like a staff. It's my staff, your staff, their staff, and a staff does not discriminate or differentiate. It is both black and white. Is it not true that quarter notes and half notes stand side by side? Is it not true that they unite to form a rich legato? Is it not true that they join hands to create peace peace, harmony, and serenity? Is it not true? The world is our sheet music, and it is asking us to stop. Stop the disputes, the disdain, the discernment. Just stop. Migrants, join hands with other migrants. We were meant to travel through different measures, not to hate, but to love. Not to combat, but to unfold. Not to stand alone, but to join, to create an ensemble so beautiful, so amorous, that no one could deny our real destiny. The destiny of every single individual. Because it does not matter the language you speak, the hymns you sing, the cultures you keep, or the tinge of your skin. We all have our role in this world, just like the notes that sashay across the measures. We stand as one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My definition of a boom-bastic jazz style.
Go, 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 go.
DJ wheel and come again. Make the bass line glide pon the drum again. Make me rock till the morning sun again. Mr. DJ, wheel and come again. Come! They snap like shots in the dance hall. In the half-light, contours of our waistline winding, grinding. A bass pulse of the heart, a glint of a gold-tooth smile, pulling me out from under, leaving silhouette of a neckline, and the speaker box pumping loud, and the rhythm just to catch this crowd. And it's way to the rhythm rock steady, cause nobody ready to go home.
am an echo of my former self. Not really who I used to be, but like a butterfly confined to be a caterpillar. In the first few stages of life, I shed my old body for a new, trying to heal the scars that were left by you. Slowly scaling the bars of life, hitting a pitch so high, I thought I would die when the symphony of our love no longer played its sweet music. Of course, old me trying to press rewind just to feel fine like I was with you. Nah, hold up now. I need to realize that your lies were just too much to handle as I spiritually transition to a new me on a whole nother level. No longer needing to hear the melodious singing of our love just to end it with flat notes. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. Sing abruptly by one too many off-pitch altos. Even though I know I will miss the hymns that drew me to you like a Sunday sermon draws Christians to church. I am an echo of my former self. The beat of your heart no longer ensnares me to dance, yet I got a new move, a better groove that inspires me to live. Transitioning from being what you wanted me to be into not really knowing how to breathe without you. Oh, but I am slowly learning. And as I grab my sheet music and rehearse my lines, figuring out how to be just fine, I hear the hum and melody of your voice on the radio, beckoning me back for another dance, another chance, but baby, I'm doing this piece solo. I turn off that old radio and unplug it because you know I can't be, I won't be an echo of my former self.
While on the water, I feel as the altitude begins to rise. I am addicted to the harmonic way of the waves, no way of escape. Holding on to the rails, I look into the ocean, expecting despair to reign. But all I can see is you. The sun, the clouds, the beauty of the sky, they all remind me of you. My brain slips away and my brain detaches from my body. Like a geode, you must look inside to see the true beauty of you. I step away from the rails, taking rhythmic steps. I know it won't happen, but I hope that you'll be back. I'll never truly be satisfied.
I breathe in and hold for 4/4 notes, but don't feel whole. I want to break into the choreography of 88 black and white keys, yet struggle to find a composition of movement and sound that would create the perfect symphony. The greatest symphonies are unexpected by their audiences. The greatest symphonies aren't played in concert halls, they're played in our streets by people coming together to create a movement so powerful that no one can help but stop and listen. The greatest symphonies are accompanied by the sounds of marching feet, ears pricked by the dissonance of the orchestral tuning. Indiscriminate and unrehearsed, the movement begins. The nerves in my arms and legs wake to the sound of an allegro that speaks the language of every migrant in this orchestra. Spanglish, Gubañol, and my grandmother's Persian. Languages of protest. See, I am not the sole writer of this song. And I'm not the only one dancing to the beat of this march. Some are dancing delicately, moving like harp strings, arms and fingers winding through and around each other, while others are dancing hard and fast, entire body shaking with the vibration of a drum somewhere in the near distance. My sweating body moves to the beat of the people's chant, dances with the rays of the sunset glimmering on the Miami skyline to a melody we all somehow know. This is what democracy sounds like. Voices come together, an anthem of resistance, a flood of tambourines and drums and maracas ring within my skull. We marched under bridges, percussion echoing through the city, an impromptu ensemble that chasses across the roadway so powerful it stops traffic on I-95. Then I turn and see my little sisters beside me. Songs of justice explode from their small chests. How do they know every line? Their little fists outstretched to the moon like conductors' batons, their soprano voices pierce my heart like the sharpest keys on a piano. I thought I'd never find the symphony I was searching for until I played in this orchestra of the people and felt completely in tune, striking chords in harmony, dancing in synchrony, and carving our arrangement into history.
Streets that call to me. Brother, don't you fall and bleed. Take a walk with me. Walk with me down these streets that call to me. Brother, don't you fall and bleed. Take a walk with me.
I walk through Brixton with a youth in screwface street mood.
I tell him it's okay to relax. His temptations course through his blood. He calls me witness. He calls me bookish. He calls me mentor. We walk avoiding certain streets, Loughborough, the railway, we both know why. I tell him that beneath these very streets we walk, deep beneath the concrete, beneath the tarmac, beneath the rubble, beneath the rock, a river flows. A dark and powerful river coursing without light. That 150 years ago, royalty would sail in their best finery into Brixton. Never thinking about crack, never thinking about cafes, never thinking about tall blocks, never thinking about Screwface. But every now and then, these tower blocks would act like speakers, and the sound of pure flowing water from the river would spread throughout Brixton. Even though the river calls, people have moved on here. Brixton is not its history, and neither should we be. Even though we hear the call of our past, we all need room for change. Walk with me down these streets that call to me. Brother, don't you fall and bleed. Take a walk with me. Give it to him.
I forgot the street names, but not the streets. I forgot the address, but not the home. Of course, after 5 years, I still have the memories. Not of the atonal hustle and bustle of the city. Not of the friends I didn't have. Not of the snow on the rooftops, or the symphony of honks and car alarms that woke me in the morning and lulled me to sleep at night. Family is what I remember. The family before Miami. A choir singing a powerful chorus in the busy song of New York. The father, mother, and brother that were my warmth in the cold of the north. Now I'm freezing in the Miami heat, with mother's biting temper bristling with icicles. My father and I separated by ice fields, and my brother under 40 feet of snow. I've never felt more alone.
Wave after wave, the roaring sea. I look ahead, but all I see is the sea. I hear the crescendo of the other waves against me. The sound so forte with its harmony. It's decrescendo now, not a sound. It is the coda of the roaring waves. Then out of nowhere I rise higher and higher. I am evaporating with great fanfare. I see a lot of white, gaseous clouds being filled with H2O. It's getting colder, so we condense into snow. Realizing that our time in the era has ended, we decrescendo to Earth's surface as precipitation. Then I notice many of my friends are seeping into the ground. I'm scared, so I close my eyes. I glissando gently into the ocean. I must have run off into the ocean. I am thankful, but still terrified. Even though I've done this for a while, the life of a drop in the water cycle.
She stood before her father, crying and shaking out of fear. Her family worried that he may never reappear. Not because of illness or crime. No, this is something much different this time. A man in the Midwest finally arrives home. His wife concerned he didn't answer his phone. He sits at the table with tears in his eyes, rocking side to side in the rhythm as he speaks in a low tone. Two groups of people from different islands on different handmade boats aims to beat the law and arrive on South Florida's beautiful coast. Both groups arrive on the shore, but one group is detained. They sent back to where they came from and told to never, ever come here anymore. A lady arrived here over 25 years ago to the day. She speaks with a European accent, but that's okay. She never followed the terms of her visa, disappeared into a nation of millions, only to reappear where she's married to a man with billions. These are just stories about immigration, a topic that has gripped our nation. Who's right? Who's wrong? Who's to say? But we all know this issue affects us all, each and every day. The complaints on both sides are reaching a crescendo. Everyone still hears the same phrase echoed. Give me you're tired, you're poor, you're huddled masses, yearning to breathe free. But many say the only apply is if you have money. And don't look like me.
Arrived. Anxiety began to grow. I was scared, out of my mind. My heart began to beat accelerando as I walked inside the cold, quiet classroom. Everyone was working in harmony. As students began to see me, voices erupted, a cacophony. The questioning of who I was became a crescendo in my ear. Compared to a chord, I was a single note who wanted to be anywhere but here. Someone asked me my name, and I responded. My tone, pianissimo. I whispered to myself, only I heard what I said alone. They asked me one more time. Words couldn't come out perfectly, more staccato. From that failed dialogue, I was so embarrassed. Making friends will be trouble for me, I know. But after pondering those last few moments, I made a realization. The only one who could write the song of my future is me. The only one who could live through the song of my future is me. As I walk through life, it won't be an ensemble or even a duet. I will be solo, me. Like any migrant voyage, going anywhere will be tough. Notes you hear get darker, the road you play a song on may get rough. But even when you fall, endurance shouldn't have to be a topic to discuss, because there's always a chant behind the grave sounds to pick you up. The song I play on my journey will not be one of tremor nor doubt. Beyond my current circumstances, I will find a way to make it out. Before I knew it, some students asked me if I wanted to sit and talk. This is where things began to work out. I answered with something they could hear, then conversation began to sprout. So now my fear has ran out of sight. I just have to keep my tempo, march to the beat, and keep writing that song of my life. Playing that tune in my ear will knock out all obstacles that may arrive. I will succeed in my finale, and everything will be all right.
As alpha of the pack, I have many duties, from hunting prey to chasing rogues away, even to instigating howls. The harmony of the howls created by my pack members is like harmony to my ears. As beta of the pack, I too have many duties. The alpha is the leader of our pack. I am his right hand. As omega of the pack, I obey my alpha and beta. They are our boss. We omegas will howl a hymn for our alpha as a sign of respect. Our howls become inventions full of lenteur as they become melodies to the ear. As a rogue, I roam free without a pack. As I pass through pack lands, the rhythm of my heartbeat accelerando, for I am a lone wolf.
Hear the minstrel directing the symphony of trash, a crescendo at first of plastic bottles and caps. They plunge into the deep blue abyss in harmony, never to be seen again, you believe. A coda to the minstrel's symphony, you might think. After drifting far and wide, instead they join the grand symphony, the symphony of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. To the plastic bottles and caps' delight, they play their merry tunes with no interlude in sight. An immeasurable amount of plastics join this duet, from computers to plastic bags and fishing nets, sloshing and moving in white ocean foam, a series of impromptus with no seeming end. The marine animals' anguish decrescendo can be heard. Ghost fish with these forgotten nets, and turtles mistake plastic bags for their favorite delicacy. The marine animals fear for their demise, the overwhelming forte of this grand symphony, the minstrel's symphony of trash. Few have heard its story to tell. Its dynamics relay a message of doom. Fear the grand symphony of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a symphony that must be lulled at last.
Her eyes held shattered notes as she walked through the drowned-out swamps that used to hold her favorite symphony. She remembers her mother taking her out, showing her the hidden concert that played, and telling her where inspiration came from. The once vivid and lively ecosystem was no longer there, with the musical creatures that played, as day turned into night, and as night turns back into day. The drones of crickets faded out, hearing the croak of the concertmaster telling them they can now fall into sleep. Coda. She almost forgot the ash gray and tawny-colored bird that stood to the side. Its heart-wrenching scream brought an ache to her chest, hearing the pianissimo and adagio tune, making her miss the ecosystem symphony even more. She stepped away from the crane, muttering a soft goodbye, before making her way back, studying the trees with their branches cleared of leaves. She could have sworn she heard a frog croak, but she continued, only asking herself, where did my mother's orchestra go?
peppers from the market and set his tongue aflame. He spent his last remaining coins on telephone calls home and listened to static. He kept his heater on the glowing coal setting. Outside, he'd breathe the shape of his lungs in mist. His sweat felt like pins and needles. His clothing was never right for the weather. He bought a second-hand
leather jacket that smelled of mothballs and had nothing to do with style. He went to a club in the West End with laser lights. Someone stole his winter coat. He met a woman in the club. She invited him to dinner the next day. She made him a baked potato with melted grating cheese and baked beans. He never had a baked potato before. He waited to see how she ate it. He took a picture of himself next to a red Porsche. He wrote letters home of pure calligraphic fantasy. Kept his suitcase in the cupboard to stop it flying back by itself. He never actually unpacked. He slowed down his speech to be better understood. He was never better understood. He joined the church. He tried to get them to speed up the hymns. They never sped up the hymns. He got a job in a laundry. The warmth of the industrial dryers reminded him of hope. The windows of the washing machines reminded him of planes. Everyone there was from somewhere else. No one talked of home.
That's the sound of death. The sound that could take a life in the blink of an eye. The gunshots sound off like beats on a drum. Boom. But what am I to do? I lay there numb. I am female, I am teenager, I'm an African American. I am a woman growing up in a man's world, and to make matters worse, I am black. Since birth, the odds have been against me. The noisy crescendo of voices scream at me to be something in life, to want better for myself. Yet that same chorus of voices harmonizes. It harmonizes in telling me that I can't be what I want to be. A singer? Psh, you never make it. A dancer, those long practices? You can't take it. A lawyer, you're not smart enough, and you can't fake it. In this life, there is no duet. There's only people yelling, do it. That's the reason I stand alone. The color of my skin and the genitalia between my legs have already set me at a disadvantage. The hair on my head is not straight. My lips are not small. My nose is not pointy, and my figure is not petite. So does that make my life worth less than yours? Does the rhythm of my heartbeat not pound at a pace that's good for you? Or maybe this little black girl is just too hood for you. Physical qualities blind us from the real problems going on all around us. I hear a harmony of voices cry. There is no decrescendo. I walk outside and see people die. I am tired. Tired of policemen killing my people. Brothers, fathers, and sons are being taken from us. Presidents are fighting against us and not for us. This country is at the brink of failure. But it doesn't mean we will break. I, for one, will not.
I will fight for my people. I will fight for my country. I will fight for those that cannot fight for themselves. The tempo at which I decide to pace my life is my decision, and mine alone. The words I choose to use to express myself are the lyrics I write to my own song. They say men can do things that women cannot, but they haven't met a woman as determined as I. I will work my way to the top until my voice is heard, until my voice is felt. I am strong and I am brave and I am capable. I will not sit back and continue to watch the injustice being done all around me. Look, I know I will be talked about. I know my name will be dragged through the mud. Physical and emotional scars may accompany me on my journey of change. But from birth, I have been ready to change.
Everyone, give it up for the artists that never showed up for a concert called The Life of My Son. My ears still waiting for your lyrics on life, but unfortunately, you missed your cue. Maybe because you were too busy being stuck behind your own bars, spitting your sympathy songs to simply split from your boy group named Inmates. If I was an instrument, I'd be a piano, missing the keys of life that are given from a dad. Listening to my household's favorite chorus, you gonna be just like him, a duet best done by my mother and grandmother, done in perfect harmony as if they never missed a day of rehearsal. I hate this song. So I tried changing the playlist, but I can't fight the fact that my strings still link to your heart. Although the sound is reminiscent to an electric guitar bashing metal into my thoughts. Thoughts on how you cared more about being hip, making you hop out of my life. But somehow, you are still my maestro, being able to orchestrate my every action because I don't want to follow your beat, but switch tempos and flow to my own rhythm. My eardrums can't even remember the bass in your voice because your words are unheard of, like you are a CD forever on pause. And whenever I press play on this radio of mine, the broken disc never works because there are too many scratches scratching you out of my existence. But hey, Pops, let me tell you how in this cold world, your son will be great without a need for your feature. This ballad of mine tells you the story that I never needed you, although you taught me how to carry my own tune and be there for my future choir. So yeah, I never had the views on having a father, but I don't seek redemption. Instead, I feel no ways about you. I'm still here, breaking my ties to you, so I can control my life and not be in that same group of inmates with you.
What we're gonna do right here is go back, way back into time. When the only people that existed were troglodytes, cavemen, cave women, Neanderthal, troglodytes. Let's take the average caveman at home, listening to his stereo.
Get that! Yes! Slip and slide like this. Just get on.
this has been. Thank you so much. I just want to look around you. Look at where we are. In the Adrienne Arsht Center for the Performing Arts, all these young people up here on the stage here at the Arsht. Give them a hand. I just want to say how amazing it is to have the partners that we have in this world and in Miami-Dade County. Whether you know it or not, every single bit of the arts is put here, the foundation, the support of it, by Miami-Dade County. And I want to thank them and the Arsht for having us here today. first, let's thank the artist. Here we are, our fantastic pianist, Mr. Bobby Mitchell. Mr. Ashley Rebar. And of course, the DJ, Mr. Brimstone 127. So I know you know all these students are from right here in Miami-Dade Public Schools, but not all the artists are. And I'd like to introduce to you someone so special, brought here by Brit Week and the British Council, our poet, Mr. Roger Robinson. There's so many people who make this all happen, but as you saw everybody move around the stage and look fantastic and look good, that was all made happen by our choreographer, Mr. Augusto Soledad, and brass dance! Brass dance, brass dance, brass dance! It takes a lot to get this company up here, and it takes months and months and months of work. And when it comes to you tonight, from the lights that go on to the lights that go off, it's the Adrienne Arsht Center for the Performing Arts. And I'd like to thank their staff and everything that they did for us tonight. Please thank the Arsht. But before we get here, it's the people who make this happen and plan it. Our stage manager, Miss Isis Blanco, please. I want you to know that from the poetry, from the page to the stage, the person that assisted everyone on this stage tonight is our assistant director, Mr. Rudy Goblin! And then every concert needs a maestro. Our maestro is Teo Castellanos. So now, I know you know this is all about the music, Piano Slam is all about the art, but really, Piano Slam is about a competition. It's about the winners, right? And we're so lucky to have all of these young people here tonight. But we have one more sponsor, just one more that I want to mention, that's been so fantastic. And they're the winningest sponsor that we've ever had, and that is our Miami Heat! So now, after all these months and all these weeks of rehearsal, we're going to meet these student artists that have worked so hard. Out of thousands of poems, they came here to win on Stand on the Stage tonight. But they did not do it alone. They did it with the wonderful support that we had from Miami-Dade Public Schools. You saw our superintendent here tonight. But I want to thank so much Mr. Chris Carranza and Miss Lori Kaplan for really, really supporting the curriculum that happened. And I hope you know that none of these students being here, none of them having the successes that they have in school or out is done without their teachers. So can we please thank the teachers that work with all of them? All right. Here they are, the artists of Piano Slam 9. From Dash High School, Ms. Nina Amati. Miss Cottle. She's thanking Miss Carlton. And from Ronald Reagan Senior High, Miss Maria Andere.
Thank you, Miss Almager.
From Charles Drew Middle, Miss Lamaria Washington.
Thank you, Miss Ryan.
From Michael Crop High School, Miss Caroline Meja.
Thank you, Miss Padron.
From Horace Mann Middle, Miss Aisha Kirkland.
Thank you, Mr. Pinder.
From Miami Arts Charter, Serena Lozande.
Thank you, Miss Konatnik.
From Leisure City, Miss Lan Pham.
Thank you, Miss Gaither.
From Michael Crop High School, Mr. Kyle Wiggin.
Thank you, Ish Padron, for forcing me to write poetry.
for forcing him to write poetry. From Miami Arts Charter, Miss Naomi Jean-Pierre.
Thank you, Miss Koreknik.
And hiding back here, but now out here, from Miami Northwestern, Miss Tamara Denmark. From Miami Springs Middle, Miss Trinity Serrano.
Thank you, Mr. Stegmeyer.
And all the way over, from George Washington Carver Middle, Mr. Jacques Rivet.
Thank you, Miss Carlson.
All right, everybody, put your fingers in your ears. From Miami Norland, Mr. Jordan Granger.
Thank you, Miss Simonette.
Miss Simonette. From Terra Environmental, Ibn Shahalam.
Thank you, Miss Castro.
From Hialeah High, Mr. Sean Howard. Miss Martinez. From Leisure City K through 8, Mr. Dominic Carranza.
Miss Robinson.
And last but not least, Mr. Nasir Sims.
Thank you, Miss Delgado and Dr. Suarez.
You know, these people, these young people, they have worked so hard to get here, to perform for you, to be great. And now, what happens in competitions? We have winners. So I'd like to bring to the stage one of our wonderful sponsors, Mr. Christopher Nail from the Nail Scholarship Foundation. All right, here we are. Let's start. In science, all district, in middle school, Miss Serena Lozandi. In science again, from Michael Kropp High School, Miss Caroline Meja. You know, we've been here for 9 years. We started with the help of the Arsht, with Miami-Dade Public Schools, with these schools just right around the Arsht, to have families be here in part of this. And so all district in English for middle school, right here in our neighborhood, from Horace Mann Middle, Miss Aisha Kirkland. When you have these wonderful programs and thousands, actually tens of thousands of young people, teenagers, these are all teenagers that are up here. Sometimes after all these years, you have something happen that has never happened before. And tonight is that night. Never before in the history of Piano Slam, in English for high school, has there been a tie. And so tonight, for the very first time, I'd like to announce two #1 all district in English. First, I'd like to introduce to you from Norland, Mr. Jordan Granger. And I know this, I know Miami Norland, and I know Miss Simonette, it's going to take a while, but we do have a tie, and that tie is from Dash Senior High with Nina Amati. the Arsht. Thank you, Miami-Dade County. Thank you, Miami-Dade Public Schools. One more time for our Miami Heat. Woo! One more thing, just one more thing. Get ready for piano